Anybody there? Can you hear me, guys? Hello? Can you hear me? Hello? Hello? Okay. Little warm up. I'll hit 150. I'll do some eighth note vamps for 3 minutes. There you go. Can anybody hear me? Give me some sort of inclination, please. I'm having some problems here. There's 3 people in there. 4 people. Okay, gentlemen, please tell me if you can hear me. Can anybody hear me? Can you please respond inside of the chat? Just say yes or no so I can give a lesson. I don't want to be talking to no one, or if I'm talking, you can't hear me. According to this chart, there's 6 people in here. One person, can you please tell me if you could hear me or not? Okay. I'm going to run down the first page of stick control book. And the way I do stick control book is I'll play the line, I'll repeat the line, and I will vamp whatever hand I end with. Now by the vamping, I just mean I'm going to play 8th notes for 4 measures. The first line I end with the left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, as so. And the second line I end with the right hand, so I'm going to vamp with the right hand. I'm going to do this in the half stroke position at 150. I'll maybe do the left hand side of the page. Then we can get into a lesson. I need somebody to tell me if they can hear me or not. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, ready, zap. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, vamp. 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2. Thank you. Steel plate or face. Oh, you can hear me. All right, good. Here we go. We'll do it again. Start from the beginning. 1, 2. Ready? Zap. 1, 2, 3, 4. Equal sound. 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4. 1, 2. That's line 2, 2, 3, 4. Right hand. 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Line 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Line 10. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. 1, 2, vamp. 2, 3. Line 11. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1. That's 12. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Okay, that's the first one. That's a little loosened up. Hey, Joe, how are you? So we have 8 people in there, and so Steelface and Joe said hello. Joe, can you hear me? I'm going to be working today with triplet fillings. All right? And there's a matter of interpretation of the stick control book. We're going to be working with page 5 of the stick control book. Everybody should have page 5. Okay, good, Joe. Now, we're going to take page 5, and bring it to another dimension. The way page 5 is, line 1 is written 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and plus repeating it. That's the way it's written. So what we're going to do, we're going to make that swing. We're going to say swung, play it swung. And when we do that, we think of triplet, eighth note triplet. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and the ands become the duh of the triplet. You don't play the ands of the triplet. You're just playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay, we go to line 3, for example. So just, really straighten it out for if you're having a little confusion. If you do, just ask in the chat and I'll try to work it out with you. Number 3, we have right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're going to play a swung. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. Now we're going to interpret the page like that from this point on. How many people we got? 9 people. Mercy. All right, we got a full house today. We're going to interpret the page that way, but we're going to play line 1 and we're going to eliminate the lefts. We're going to think about it, what I just did. So eliminating the lefts on line 1 will just give me my right. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and now what I mean by triplet fill-ins, we're going to make it a straight line of eighth note triplet. But we're going to take the right, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, that's what's there on the stick control book, and we're going to fill the remainder of the triplet like this. Line 1 would be 1 and 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right, everybody understand that? Any problem? Just go in this chat. If you understand it, just go Y for yes. If you don't understand it, put an N for no, and I'll go over it again. I go to line 2, and we eliminate the lefts. So we have the rights on the upbeat now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all right, we got some. Good. Okay. So now we're going to fill in the triplet with line 2. So now we're going to play the duh as 1 and duh, and we're going to make the balance. We're going to fill it in with the balance of the triplet. 1 and duh, 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and Now when I've gone that far, what I like to do is do line 1 and line 2. When I do line 1, I'm not going to repeat it. I'm just going to do 2 measures, and I'm going to go into line 2. So what the benefit of that is you have the right coming down on the downbeat and the right coming in on the upbeat. I'm going to do it slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2, 3, line 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, back to 1, 4. So you want to put that on a match. Let's go do line 1 and line 2. Let's try 120. I should be loose enough to play that. That's me 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, line 2. Back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now that's not a bad tempo. You don't want to hurt yourself. You want to relax it. Take it there if you can, or take it further. The object is not to see how fast you can play it. The object is how nice and even you can play it, and sound-wise, that you have a full stroke and you have taps. They're not ghost notes, they're taps. Okay, now let's go to line 3. Line 3 now, you have right, right, left, left. You have 1 and 2 and 3, and 4, and. Okay? Now, we're going to swing that, and that's going to give me 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the. I eliminate the lefts, and I have 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the. Now, what I'm going to do is fill in the blanks, make it a straight line of triplets. I mean, if you're not going to use, if you're going to use one surface or two voices or three voices doing this, not any voices hitting at the same time, you can consider this linear. But that's, you know, I don't like to do that on this particular exercise because we're going to take it to another dimension with a drum set application. We do line 3 now on one surface. 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1, and the 2, and 3, and the 4, and the. And then we do line 4. Now, the right hand's going to fall on 2, the, and 4, the. So we have 1, and the 2, 3, 4, 1, 4, 1. Okay, now that takes us to line 5. My right hand is going to be playing on 1, 2, the, and the da of 3. So if I made it the full measure, I have 1, and the 2, and line 5, and the play. Right, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the. Now what we're going to do, I'm going to put the metronome on, 120 again. I'm going to play each line twice up to line 5. And I'm going to go back to line 1. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, set. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, and the 2, and the 3, and the 4, and the 1. Okay, everybody understand that? That's only a prerequisite to where we're going to be going with this eventually. I don't have the drum set up yet. I have the set, but I don't have the cameras to the drum set hooked up yet. What we're going to do next time, or maybe even tonight, I'm not certain. I might use the drum set to do this. And here's the second part. If you get the thing going on, you know, feeling comfortable with it on one surface, you can do it in the syncopation book as well, if you have the syncopation book. And you can take any page that's just eighth notes and quarter notes and fill it in with the, like we just did with the stick control book. You could actually start that process, let's say, on page 29, a 48 bar exercise. You can do that. Oh, no, you can't do that. You have the 16th notes. I'm sorry. You can start on page 30, and you can add the fill-ins to that. So I don't know who has the syncopation book with them, but you can take that same interpretation and do it with the syncopation book. You're not eliminating no R's. Everything there is the R, and everything that's less the triplet is the left hand. Okay? Now, that's part 1. I don't have the bass. I should have. I had a hold on. Let me set it up. Give me a second. I'm going to set this practice pad thing up for the bass drum, and maybe you could hear it. Okay, what I'm going to do. Hold on, gentlemen and ladies. It takes a second. Okay, I think that's it. Tell me if you could hear this, gentlemen. This is the practice pad for the bass drum. Can we hear that? Can we hear it? Hey, Joe, can you hear that? Okay. All right. There's a few ways I like to practice it, but first, what you have to do is just do the first, get it comfortable on one surface. You know, line one, again, would be 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel good about that. Now, we're going to do a substitution again. This time, with this, we just played this, and we're going to make all the R's now. We're going to substitute the R's for the bass drum instead of the snare drum, or whatever voice you're using it on. So we're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. We're going to do line 2. Again, it's the reverse. 1 and da 2 and da 3 and da 4. Here's on one surface. Da 3 and da 4 and da 1 and da 3 and da 4 and da. And then we're going to do it on the bottom. It's 1 and da, 2 and 3 and da, 4 and da. Now what you want to do, like I said, get it down on one surface like that. And once you get feeling good about it, do it like I just did. Substitute all the rights for the bass drum. Now, that takes some time. You should practice it. There's another application which is for the drum set. And I don't have the hi-hat pedal set up, but when I'm playing a straight ahead pattern, a jazz pattern, for example, all right, I play my left foot heel and toe on the hi-hat. Now you're not going to hear that because there's nothing here. But while I'm doing that, 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm playing heel, toe. The toe closes the cymbal. The heel opens it, the toe closes it. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do tonight is use the drum set for this lesson. I tried it last time. It was a little iffy, but we're going to work on it, okay? So if you want to come back tonight again at 8 o'clock, I'm doing another lesson. I want to try it. I want to try to be nicer to the guys who work during the day or live in California, or the ones in Europe are listening to it now, because in Europe it's maybe 6, 7 o'clock at night. 8 o'clock at night is a better time for the guys on the East Coast and in the Central Jersey and the West Coast. So let's get back to this. If I did line 1 and get directly into 2, substituting the right foot for the right hand, I would have line 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, line 2. 1 and da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. Da, 2 and da, 3 and da, 4 and da. Now I have my left foot working 2 and 4. Okay? The heel and toe. Now, you want to go through it one surface. You want to do what I just did now, as instead of the rights, using the bass drum with the hi-hat. Feel comfortable with that. Now you take the journey, and the way I teach this is, it's just like, there's that iconic book by Jim Chapin, the Modern Technique for the Advanced Drummer. Great book. He did a really nice job, and everybody should have one. And because of the graphics, they're there. They're showing you how it falls. All right, but once I go through a few of these things from the stick control book, and I open up that book for a student, they fly right through it because they're accustomed to doing something like this. Now, we're going to play the jazz time. Now, what I'm doing with the jazz time is I'm thinking 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. You can't see that. Let me play it over here. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1. Now what happens, this always stayed with me when I went to Morello. He goes, okay, Patella, get up there, let me hear you play a straight ahead time. And I did play it for him, and he said to me, well, you don't mind, but it sounds like a march. And it did. That's how I play the straight edge jazz time. Then he explained to me, what you need to do is make all 4 quarter notes sound the same. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the. Now, I try to do, I make all 4 quarter notes sound the same. And when I push the 2, the 3, it's a little lighter. So here's the system for the levels for this. It's free stroke, and I'm starting from here. You don't want to come all the way up from here, all right, because you get fired from the gig. This is my symbol. So I'm going free stroke, down, a free stroke, down, a free stroke. By using that system, it makes my quarter notes sound the same. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4. The 1, 2, 3, 4. Free stroke, down, a free stroke, down. Now that's the mechanics of it. I'm not playing an open time, or I'm not improvising with the band. I'm just laying down a time. If you were getting the gig with a singer, that's what he would want. Bing, gong, ding, chang, boom. Like so. That's what you're being paid for. I don't really like to play that a whole lot, but you have to start there in order to free it up. So now, I'm going to play the jazz time. You're going to have to hear it from here. You should be able to see it, I think. I'm trying to see if it comes up on the screen. Let's see if it comes up. It's not going to come up. All right, let me do it on here. It's not coming up. I'm going to play it on here and play the snare drum over here. Okay? So I'm going to do the first line. 1 as one surface is 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play the time. 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 1, 2, 3. Now I'm going to play the bass drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the part. 2, 3, 4. 1 and the 2 and the 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I got a question, I think. Okay, good. It's just that all 4 notes are sounding the same. 1 and the 2 and 4. 1 and the 2, 3, 4. So I like to do, I kind of favor this, coming on the downbeat and the upbeat. And all the other ones are combinations sort of that. So what I do is I play line 1 and line 2 over and over again. 2, line 2. So on and so forth. I go line 3. You got to do it on the drum set. I'm going to do that tonight on the drum set. But that's where we're going to go with it. So you got to take step by step. You're going to do it here. 1, 2, 3 on one surface. Then you're going to do it between the bass drum. You're substituting the rights for the bass drum and the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now after that you're going to play it against the time, the jazz time. It's mechanical, yes. We're not playing a song. We're working something out. It's the mechanics of playing jazz independence. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So on and so forth. And I'm going to do that tonight on the drum set. Okay, gentlemen? I apologize. Now, that should take care of, and you can do it again with the syncopation book. I just like to do this. It's great exercises. Every one of these lines, doing it that way or any other way, has its own personality. One of the greatest, it is the greatest book, in my opinion, ever written. Nothing against anybody else's book with their concepts. But, George Lawrence Stone had it together mathematically. And he wrote the book to make the right side and the left side sound the same. Okay? Now, that should take care of that particular part of the lesson today. I'm not going to sit here and practice and show you my routine. I'm just trying to help out because I have to only do an hour because I have other students coming to the studio. And I figure I do this as a service this morning for like the guys in Europe, like I said, and 8 o'clock tonight as a service to the guys on the East Coast, Central Jersey, and the West Coast. So it kind of works out all together. So I will be back tonight. Okay? Doing it on the drum set. Now, the next one we're going to do, and I'm going to get a lot of static for this. Okay. This next exercise is in Master Studies too. That's Joe Morello's book. And it's the paradiddle. A right-hand paradiddle, left-hand paradiddle. Now you say, okay, what the heck is a right-hand paradiddle? Paradiddles are, all right, a right-hand paradiddle is if I start with the right hand all the time. Right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, right, right. Or if I start with the left hand, it's a left-hand paradiddle. Left, right, left, 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 right, left, left. 1, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, it's in Joe Morello's Master Studies. It just happens to be in there. And the funny thing about some of the stuff that's in there, and I'm not taking, I don't want anybody to get the wrong impression, but I studied with Joe for 30 years on and off. And part of the lesson was, it wasn't like a contest. It was, how many different ways you come up with to do the stick control book. And when I went to see him, it was I show him one thing, he showed me another thing. And I learned so much from the guy. But I did show him this one. I don't know whether he put it together or not, but interpreting, he put it in a certain way in the Master Studies. I come up with a formula. When I see a right, I make that one E-enda as a right-hand paradiddle. When I see a left, I make that a left-hand paradiddle. Now, do you understand why I refer to it as a right-hand paradiddle and a left-hand paradiddle? It's an alternating paradiddle, is what it is. Okay, do you agree, gentlemen? Yes, no, maybe? Do we agree? So anyway, I make that the formula. All the rights equal right-hand paradiddles, leading with the right. That's how I like to use it and say it. All the left-hand paradiddles. Okay. There we go. That's cool. Everybody agrees with me. I'm not getting any static. Very good. Okay, so now, I'd like to start this next exercise on line 3, where you have 2 rights and 2 lefts. So if I just did line 3, it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now I interpret the first right as 1 E and the right, then left E and the left E and. Now, the beauty of an exercise like this, or understanding the level system or the control strokes, is you have to be right. If you're not right, it's going to come out and smack you. So it's sort of a journey into understanding the level system a lot better. I like to do something like this slow at first, so I know that I'm doing it like this. I have the level. I'm going to say down, tap, tap, up, down, up, tap, tap. I just played 2 rights. And now I'm in position to play the left. 1, E, and 2, E, and again, I'm in position to play the right. So I can have down, tap, tap, up, down, tap, down, tap, up, down, up, tap, tap. I'm always putting myself in position. So what I will do it that's when I first did it, obviously. Well, of course, I did it slow and I made so many mistakes. And it really kind of put me together with the level system and it internalized it for me. Now this one here is, you can't do it pretty fast. There's a lot of notes to the quarter note. So we're going to hit this one. I'm going to do a few lines. I'm going to hit it at, say, 80. Okay? That should do it. That's 16th notes. And that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. So do line 2. That's a workout. Let me try a little faster. I feel a little loose. Let me try 90. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. See how natural the levels are. That's line 5. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Bang. It's just a nice thing to do. That's 90. Let me see. I feel a little loose. Let me see if I can get up there. Hold on. Let me try 100. My hands are not that loose. I'm an old guy. And I have sort of a handicap. I don't like to use excuses as it's a handicap. But on my left hand, when I was younger, say about 8, 9 years old, I fell down the concrete steps with the real milk bottles under my arms like this. And I hit the floor or the concrete and they all smashed. And it cut my wrist and gave me 64. What happened was it cut my wrist and cut a tendon. So I can make a fist, but I can't straighten my hand out like so. The pinky is always out. I have no feeling in it. So what happens is I can move it over, but she flings right back out. You can see the difference? And I can flick it over, but it comes right back out. So it doesn't really interfere a whole lot. Sometimes it does, because I can't, use the fingers like going up and down like this with my hand. So I have to compensate some other way. Okay, so what I'm doing, I gave you my excuses, all right? That's because if I make any mistakes, you forgive me. All right. I can't park in a handicap zone. It's not that bad, but it's there. And sometimes it's not tendonitis or carpal tunnel syndrome, but sometimes I get a pain a little bit in my pinky from that the artery being cut, and it goes away quickly. It just comes and goes real quick. All right, let me do this. This is at 100. There you go. Right, left, right, left, right, left. I'm gonna do line 3. Right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. Control. I'm gonna do line 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. Right, left, right, right, left, left, left. Let me chop it up a little bit. I'm going to torture myself. I'm going to try 110. I think 120 is going to be my max over here. I'm not in the contest. I just want to see my hands are today. I mean, I could play paradiddles all day like this, alternating. I'm going to play line 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's not get confused. You see me pumping the arms. It's nothing like a molar system. The molar system just comes out and over like this. I don't really play any kind of things with that. I use molar. I never learned molar. And if I'm using it, I'm using it. I don't know. But this is the way George Lawrence Stone taught Mr. Morello. And Mr. Morello taught me and all of his students. Okay, that's at 110. I'm going to commit suicide here and do 120. That's moving. That's 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do 2 rights and 2 lefts, I hope. You can do it for 2 or 3 minutes. That's moving. Now, what else I do, and this is like on the live online lesson site, because I have it all set up, using drums. It's not just the drum pad on my live lesson site. Okay. What I do next with that, for example, is the substitution again. If I did line 1 as a paradiddle, like so, I'm going to substitute the right hand for the bass drum. If I did line 3, that would be 2 right hand paradiddles, 2 left hand paradiddles. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I usually use the Gary Chaffee books, his series on his patterns books, and this one here, there's a lot of symbol patterns that he uses. He refers to it as a fat back, which he means is a heavier backbeat as opposed to a real fat back, but it's a heavy fat back. The back, yeah, heavy backbeat. You know, he'll use symbol patterns like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or quarter notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1, 2. Now you run the whole page down like that, and various symbol patterns. Okay? Any questions so far? No. Okay. Now, I got this next exercise. It's really a no-brainer. And what it is, you know, I did it with Joe, but he comes into view with this on his Master Studies 1. He's using the fill-ins with his exercises. So I'm going to regress it a little bit, and I'm going to go to the stick control book. And I'm going to start the exercise on line 3, which is line 3 is right, right, left, left. Now, anytime I see 2 rights or 2 lefts, or 3 rights or 3 lefts, or 4 rights or 4 lefts, I fill it in as a 16th. For example, if I go 1 and, I'm going to play 1 E and. My next one is left, left. It's going to be 2 E and. So now, line 3, instead of becoming, it's this now. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 5, you have an 8th note, an 8th note, and a double. So you have 1 and 2 E and. Then you have an 8th note again with the left, 8th note again with the right, 2 lefts. So that would be 3 and 4 E and. So if I play that, 1 and 2 E and, 3 and 4 E and. It gets a little confusing when you get to, let's say, line 6. Do you understand it so far, gentlemen? It's a no-brainer. Don't be shy if you don't understand it. Okay. Now, when I get to line 6, I don't want to call this a displacement or whatever. It's just a variation of a paradiddle. It's 1 and 2 and. So then there's 2 lefts, but it starts on the end. So it's going to be 1 and 2 and. Do we get that? 1 E and 2 and. Then it reverses itself. All right, it goes 1 E and 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4 and. We understand that, gentlemen. And I think line 13 is 4 rights and 4 lefts. So what we're going to do with that is we're going to go 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. All right. Who's that Steelface? And Mr. Peterson? Do we know each other from Facebook? You can expose your name, it'd be better. So we can have a conversation about this. All right. Maybe. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to put in the chat, because I'm going to close it up. I have to go. But I'll be back tonight at 8 o'clock. And tonight at 8 o'clock, I can do a very long lesson. What I'm going to do, all right, so you get this good. So you won't be able to get it tonight, Mr. Peterson. All right. I'm going to put my Skype contact here. Okay. Here's my Skype contact. Computers. No, wait a minute. It's got to be a period. Where's the period? Here you go. Nope. I just got this laptop. Here we go. All right. Now, if anybody wants to have a conversation with me about today's lesson or any questions, you could call me on Skype. That's my Skype contact. Okay, now, how you doing, Steve? All right, now, what I'm going to do is give you my email. I have a few PDF sheets on this particular thing. If you'd like them, I will send them to you. So here's my email. Okay, now, I might as well do some promotional stuff here. Okay. What I'll do is I'm going to give you my website address. All right, so here you go. www.matt. Okay, that's my website. If you want to visit there, I'd appreciate it. And if you can just sign the guest book and give me your input of how to make things a little bit better for you or me or whoever. So with that all being said, I'm glad everybody came. I hope that I helped somebody out here and give you some new ideas. And I will see everybody tonight, okay, at 5 p.m. I mean, 8 p.m. rather, Eastern Standard Time. I know the guys in Germany, that's like what, 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the morning in Europe. So this is more or less to service the East Coast, the West Coast, and Central United States. Okay, gentlemen. So if you have any questions, email me, call me on Skype, or if you want, if I can find the PDFs on this, I'll send them to you. Okay, gentlemen. So have a good day. You too, Mr. Robbs. You're a gentleman. Oh, okay. Thank you. That's what I refer to it at. But whenever you make a turnaround without disrupting the flow from the right hand to the left hand, you usually use a paradiddle. Depends. You can use double paradiddles, you can use triple paradiddles. Joe, you too. Thank you. It's nice to say thanks once in a while. You know, I sent these emails out with the PDF sheets, and I never got a thank you from anybody. That really makes me feel kind of bad. You know, it's a drumming community. It's a family. I mean, let's all get together and be nice. Okay, I have to leave, and hopefully I can see more tonight. And I got to learn how to shut this down. Okay, gentlemen, have a good day.